Hi there, this is Strathairn from Strathairn Films, and welcome to a very special video. Criterion announced 4 more releases, or the 4 releases before the big Spine number 1000. But for me personally, Spine 1000 is going to have to be a Kurosawa box set to be any better than Spine number 999. Because Spine number 999 is John Sayles' 1987 masterpiece Matewan. This is my copy on DVD. As you see, it's not really a proper DVD. I have 2 prints, one off the television and this kind of version, which is grainy and not very good, but it's the only one I have. And they're releasing it in October on Blu-ray. I may have to buy about 10 copies just in case I wear the other ones out. I first saw Matewan, it was made in 1987, so I probably saw it maybe the early 90s or even before that. As usual, quite a lot of the films that I love I first saw on BBC Two in the UK late at night, and Matewan absolutely blew me away. It's your typical John Sayles film. If you're not familiar with John Sayles, why not? I know it's very hard to get his stuff, but hopefully this will be the crack in the dam, and hopefully this will bring more attention to his great work and more labels will release his films. For example, Arrow should do The Brother from Another Planet. I mean, that's a classic Arrow release. But let's not get carried away. In my opinion, John Sayles is the best director working, even though he hasn't made a film for a little while, again because of budgetary reasons. He can't get money, which I'm not going to get too much of my soapbox, but his last film, Go for Sisters, which is a beautiful little film, cost $1 million to make, and he had to get it from about 4 different countries. I've often said, in all seriousness, if I won the lottery, I would give him money to do whatever he liked, but preferably make films. Matewan had a profound effect on me just because it is such a beautiful, well-crafted film, but it perfectly encapsulates everything that is great and magnificent about John Sayles, but also everything that why he's not more popular or his films don't get wider releases. Because 1, it's political, 2, it's about unions and kind of working together for the betterment of society. I mean, that's just outrageous. Beautifully written by Sayles, because he's such a show-off. He writes, directs, edits. He also writes novels. Obviously, you may or may not know, he started in the Roger Corman School, like so many other filmmakers. He wrote the script for Alligator and Piranha and Battle Beyond the Stars, these script doctored films like Apollo 13 and Mimic. He's even acted in films, some of his own and some of the others. In The Electric Mist, he actually plays a grumpy film director, a hack, which obviously is not what he's like in real life. Anyway, back to Matewan. Sorry, I'm just digressing. It's actually quite emotional that he's finally getting a Criterion release. I know there was rumours recently of a Criterion release, but until it actually happens. But Matewan, beautifully acted. It has, the beginnings of his regulars, Mary McDonnell, David Strathairn, Chris Cooper, who's just fantastic in this, Gordon Clapp, Kevin Tiggy, who I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name, obviously, Kevin Tiggy. It's beautifully shot by Haskell Wexler. It has that quality of old yellowing photographs, but again, it's set in the 1920s, or actually before the 1920s, in West Virginia, and it's about miners and a miner strike. Again, Sayles films, when you read the synopsis, they don't pop off the page as, I'll have to check that out. But I guarantee you, I implore you to buy Matewan, and if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. I want Matewan to be the best-selling Criterion Collection Blu-ray in history. So Criterion release more. Because he is such a great filmmaker, such a great American filmmaker. Because let's be honest, there's not that many of them left or still around. But back to Matewan. It's a great score by Mason Daring, who again is a regular for John Sayles films. It's just James Earl Jones is in it as Few Clothes, who gives one of his best performances. It's so good. I am just stoked that Criterion have released a John Sayles film, or are going to release a John Sayles film. I'm so excited I even just used the word stoked, which I don't think I've ever used in my entire life, apart from referring to fires, of course. This edition will have a commentary by Sayles and Wexler, and John Sayles' commentaries are magnificent. He's so smart, and he pretty much tells you how to make a low budget film. His commentary on Sunshine State is fantastic, if you can find that. And there's a new documentary about the making of it, because it's now 32 years old, which is hard to believe. It's an amazing film. It should really be in a museum of American art, because as we all know, Hollywood is not perhaps the greatest producer of films anymore, and American films that are true masterworks are pretty much thin on the ground. So you do have to go to the independents, and John Sayles is the very definition of independent. I apologise for the rambling video, but I'm just so happy that John Sayles is hopefully going to get some recognition, and people will buy Matewan, maybe on just a cold buy, and they'll fall in love with John Sayles too, and seek out more of his films, and demand that labels start releasing his films, even on Blu-ray. That would be a start. On DVD would be a start. And hopefully it won't take another 999 Criterion collection for another release of a Sayles film. Perhaps City of Hope, or Men with Guns, or my personal favourite, Passion Fish. Yeah, I'm going to stop now. I should say also that Haxan, the fantastic silent film, is getting a Blu-ray release in October as well, which I'm really excited about as well. Because Haxan, which was made in 1922, is one of those films that still stands up today and is still a little bit creepy and a little bit disturbing, a bit like A Man Who Laughs. I'm not sure whether Witchcraft Through the Ages will be included as well, but I'm sure that was on the Criterion DVD, so hopefully that will be in the Blu-ray as well. I just have the Tartan Cinema DVD. But that's an aside. That's great news as well. But this is even better news. It's funny because look at the, an American classic. Everything about this movie is terrific. Matewan is marvellous movie making, superbly crafting and absorbing one of the best films of 1987. Never mind, off the soapbox. Thank you, Criterion. Thank you very much, Criterion. And everybody, please buy a copy. Please. John Sayles will thank you. This is Sol Sharon saying apologies for the rant, and hopefully you'll come back for another video. Cheerio.